What's up, guys? Welcome to Jew Whiskey. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below, and with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Loch Lomond Heavily Peated. Stick around. Okay, so we're looking at a Loch Lomond release today. Loch Lomond has a lot of bottles on the market. I believe there's something like 8,760,542 different bottles out there. They have all these different brands and stills and production techniques. It's actually really confusing. Like, they have Loch Lomond, Inchmoan, Inchmern, Inchfad, Crofnagab. They have blends, they have single malts, they have single grains that are actually single malts but made with a column still. They have peated, they have unpeated, they have special releases. It is an absolute shit show. It is an absolute wonder that they can produce such a variety of whiskey. Anyway, this is one of their more affordable releases, of which there are quite a few. This one was released in 2020. It's a single malt, it's heavily peated, and apparently this one is a Swedish market exclusive, which is crazy. I had no idea I lived in Sweden. So this one's 85% straight neck still, wide spirit cut, distilled from 50 ppm peated malt, matured in a combination of refill bourbon barrels and recharred American oak hogsheads for 4 years, and 15% swan neck still, unpeated, matured in refill bourbon barrels for 7 years. And it's important to note that this one is not the peated single grain whiskey that's been making a lot of noise recently. Now, Loch Lomond has been getting more popular these days. The whiskey has a certain dirty, characterful appeal that really works for enthusiasts. And of course, it doesn't hurt that their whiskeys tend to be affordable. So there's been a lot more chatter about Loch Lomond over the last, let's say, 2 years than I've seen at any other point in the past, and good for them. Speaking personally, I find Loch Lomond to be very much a mixed bag. I have reviewed the 12 before, I've reviewed the 18. I like the 18 quite a bit. I thought it was a great whiskey. The 12 I didn't connect with, and I know that's a favorite for a lot of people out there, but I thought it was fine. It's a whiskey that I find characterful. I like that it's affordable, but personally, I don't really connect too much with the flavors, although I understand why a lot of people out there do. I've tried a few other Loch Lomond's. Again, hit or miss. If you're asking me what my favorite is, the 18 is definitely the way to go. Fantastic stuff. But like I said, there's like 8 million releases out there, so there's definitely a lot more to explore from the brand. This is a release that I had not heard much about, so kind of curious. Heavily peated, that could work. So let's jump into our review and see where I land on it. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. For our specs, this one comes in at 40% ABV. It is chill filtered and it is colored. So that's fun. For the look, this is a typical Loch Lomond bottle. I don't usually love Loch Lomond bottles. That being said, I think the label on this one in particular does have a nice color scheme, so I guess I would count this among the better Loch Lomond bottles. I don't love the embossed stag. Yeah, for look, I'll give this one 2.5 out of 5. The label mentions nothing about color or chill filtration. It does say that it was matured in American casks, and that those casks were specially selected, which is very reassuring. We have a little blurb on the back that gives us some tasting notes. Beyond that, very little information here, which I guess is to be expected. It's a budget dram, but still. For the nose, instead of going off of my notes, we just have to look to the neck of the bottle with our tasting notes. This says smoky bacon, dark chocolate, sweet smoke, and burnt fruits. And that's pretty, yep. It's also slightly medicinal, slightly herbal. There's like some lemongrass in here, some machine oil. It's nice. For our palate and finish, it does come on a little bit light. Like, the texture definitely suffers from the lower ABV. I get vanilla, I get canned peaches, I get black pepper, again with the bacon, the dark chocolate, and that sweet smoke. Okay, so this one is good. We do have some nice flavors in here. It actually makes me want to try the single grain peated release. That one comes in at 46%. I think that one would probably deliver a lot more than this one does. As I said, the texture does suffer from being 40%. I am going to have to hit the button. 40%? Oh man, I wish this was 46. Boo-hoo. Our standout notes in here would be bacon, black pepper, vanilla, and machine oil. Breakfast of champions. And they work. They're not mind-blowing, they're not complex, but they do work. Also, they do have more intensity and they're more mouth coating than you would expect for a 40% whiskey. Now, I realize the 40% ABV is going to lose a lot of people, and honestly, rightly so, especially when they have so many other affordable options out there that come in at 46%. So that begs the question, why did I buy it? Well, I'm an idiot, and I initially thought this one was that 46% single grain peated release, and it isn't. Which leads us to the question, why did you buy it if you didn't actually look at the label? Once again, I'm not very smart. Vapid even. I rely almost entirely on these ridiculous good looks. Nothing up here. Anyway, another complaint that I could put in here is that our peripheral flavors tend to be like muddled together, like they're not really that clear or that distinctive. And overall, our whiskey is, like me, a little bit simple, but it's all right. Like, this does have nice flavors. It's got that Loch Lomond appeal, which works for so many enthusiasts. It's got like that dirty, characterful profile, like machine oil, petroleum, that kind of thing. On top of that, it's heavily peated. So this isn't like the most accessible whiskey. I don't think it's for a broad consumer base. It's definitely not baby's first whiskey. Like, I would start my baby off with something different. But for me, I don't mind getting dirty sometimes, wink, and I don't mind the Loch Lomond profile. Now, when you factor in price, for this price, you're not going to find much that tastes like this. Certainly nothing outside of the Loch Lomond stable, and it tastes good. It's distinctive, it's characterful. I'm going to give this an 83. Obviously, our score would be higher if the ABV was higher. 83 is not a great score, but this is not a great whiskey. It's a well-done whiskey, and I think if you're looking for something peaty, characterful, and distinctive on a budget, you could do a whole lot worse than this. Nothing too exciting here, but it's good. Beyond that, I guess there's not too much more to say about this one. I think it's decent stuff. I think it's decent stuff exclusively because it is an affordable whiskey. If this was more expensive, I would have a lot more criticisms, but because it's affordable, it's fine. So that brings us to value. So yeah, definitely good value here. I don't think it's the best value in the Loch Lomond stable. I think there are probably better buys out there, ones that have the 46%. But it's one of those whiskeys that, even though it's not great, when you look at the price, you really can't criticize it. I got this on sale. It cost me like 22 US, 20 euros, like 18 pounds. That's really cheap. And if you're looking for a cheap peated casual sipper, you're not going to find much out there that has this much character in that price range. So when you see it through the lens of budget and value for money, I think this is a great buy. Alright, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help support the channel, I do have the Patreon. Otherwise, you can like, comment, subscribe. Always appreciate it. Of course, I do want to hear from you. Have you tried this Loch Lomond? What Loch Lomond is your favorite? What do you think represents the best value from the brand? Let me know down below. Also, down below in the comments, you can let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.